Welcome dear students. Today we will learn Chapter 2 of Political Science, the Electoral Process. In this lesson, we will learn what is the work of Election Commission, how government appoints them, and if they are appointed by the government, how are they an independent organization? How is it free from corruption? We will also discuss the reforms required to be made in the electoral process. So, let's begin. Elections and representation are two important processes in democracy. See, in countries with large population, it is not possible for people to directly participate in the functioning of the country. So in such cases, what is done is that people in democracy elect their representatives. And these elected representatives take decisions on behalf of the people. They take decisions for the welfare of the people, and they are responsible and answerable to the people. So, the process of election is very important for the strengthening of democracy. In India, the Election Commission is central, that is, important to the process of elections. Indian Constitution has a number of articles. Among these, Article 324 has established this autonomous body which consists of one Chief Election Commissioner and two other commissioners. Now, autonomous body means it is independent and it is not under the control of any power or government. It is free to take its decision without any pressure from the government. It is a body that functions impartially so that justice can be acquired during elections. This election commission consists of one election commissioner and two other commissioners who are appointed by the president. Now please understand, dear students, that election commissioners are mostly IAS officers. These are officers who have studied hard and therefore come to the topmost ranks by giving exams, not like a kind of system where there is nepotism. For being an election commissioner, you have to serve in the Indian administration. Sukumar Sen was the first Chief Election Commissioner after independence, and his role was a very challenging one. He had to conduct free and fair elections in a very adverse situation. India was not in a good state immediately after independence as it was partitioned. Now, the Chief Election Commissioner cannot be removed from his post easily or on account of any political reasons, as it is an autonomous body. It does not have to work under pressure, and it has to be out of the control of any government power, so that it can function and carry out elections without any fear. If it is pressurized, then the meaning of democracy diminishes. So, the election commissioner has to have powers and he has to function in a fearless atmosphere without any pressure from the government so that free and fair elections can be conducted. This reminds me of an election commissioner who was very strict. He was T.N. Session. He passed away last year, that is 2019. He used to keep the politicians under control. Now the election commissioner does not have a separate staff. The election commission does not have work on daily basis, right? So they collaborate with government officers, teachers, different government agencies, governmental bodies to execute the process of elections. Let us see the different working systems of the Election Commission, that is, the functions of the Election Commission. First, preparing the voters list. Once you attain the age of 18, you should participate in voting. Now, why do they have to make voters list? See, when you go to school, you need an I card, right? Your I cards are checked first. Similarly, if you have a systematic voters list, you come to know how many people are there in the area and how many can vote, and likewise, arrangements are made. Individuals who have attained the age of 18 are included in the voters list. The Election Commission has the authority to issue identity cards to the voters. Next, decide the timetable and program of elections. After every 5 years, we have election in the state, we have elections on the local body, and elections at the national level. At national level, we elect Prime Minister, at state level, we elect Chief Minister, and at local body, we elect Mayor. Now, deciding the timetable is very important, as these elections should not collide with each other, or these dates should not be on any other national event or festival, thereby making it difficult for people to come and vote. So they have to make certain provisions so that the timetables of the Election Commission stay away from such days. Next, scrutiny of the applications of the candidates. After the election dates are declared, political parties select the candidates to contest elections. We even have independent candidates who contest without any support of political party. Now, these candidates have to fill the applications wherein they give information about themselves, their assets, etc. The Election Commission has to scrutinize all the applications and check whether the candidates have given correct information about their property, whether the candidate has a criminal background or they have been convicted for any crime. In such cases, the application of the candidate is rejected. Next, give recognition to political parties. Whenever a new political party comes into existence, it has to be given a recognition. Now, what do you mean by giving a recognition? They have to say whether a party is a state level party or national level party. Like say Manse. Now they work for the welfare of the people of Maharashtra only. They are state level party. Also, due to the differences in the ideologies among the members of the same party, we see that a party splits. Like Nationalist Congress Party has split from Indian National Congress. Even these parties need to be recognized. The Election Commission allots election symbols to the political parties like railway engine of Manse, bow and arrow of Shiv Sena, broom of Aam Aadmi Party, hand of Indian National Congress, lotus of BJP. So these parties are recognized. Next, to resolve any disputes relating to elections. Sometimes there may be complaints of unfair practices during elections. Maybe bribing the voters or appealing for votes on the basis of religion, which is not allowed in the country. These are all malpractices which can happen, and they are checked by the Election Commission. They conduct independent inquiries in this regard. They have the power to overthrow any candidate if any dispute arises. Now students, let us quickly revise the 5 points. So the 5 functions of Election Commission are preparing the voters list, deciding the timetable and the programs of elections, scrutiny of the applications of candidates, give recognition to political parties, and to resolve any disputes relating to elections. Now remember that when you prepare your notes, you need to mention these points and elaborate on them. We will see the process through which elections are conducted. Before the general elections, the review is taken, and as per that, on the basis of population, the country is divided into constituencies. We have a total of 543 constituencies. Then, finalizing the voters list, that is, adding on the new voters and etc. Candidates have to fill their nomination, wherein they give complete information about themselves and scrutiny of the nomination forms. Say a month before the election or so, candidates along with their supporters campaign for election as per the code of conduct. Actual voting is done phase-wise. After the voting, the counting of votes takes place. Post that, results are declared. If any dispute arises with regards to the election, then the Election Commission looks up in the matter and takes action. Now remember that Shyam Sharan Negi from Himachal Pradesh was the first voter of India. He casted his vote on 25th October 1951. Moving on with the next topic, restructuring of the constituency. There are 543 constituencies in India. Constituencies are based on population or area. Within the Election Commission, there is a body called the Delimitation Commission. This body takes a review of the area or constituency, and if the population is more, then the constituencies are further broken down into 2 or more constituencies so that people get enough representation. The Delimitation Commission does not succumb to any pressure while restructuring the constituencies. Code of Conduct. In order to control malpractices during elections, the Election Commission has adopted the Code of Conduct. Now, the Code of Conduct are rules to be followed by the government, political parties, and voters before and during the elections to ensure free and fair elections, like no campaigning, no speeches, no rallies, so on and so forth. Common voters have become more confident due to the implementation of Code of Conduct. Now remember, my dear students, you need to prepare this answer very well as it is very important from the board point of view. Now, challenges in conducting free and fair elections. Please remember, in India, there is a lot of misuse of money that happens during elections. These politicians are filthy rich. They will put in money for votes, and this happens illegally. So it's difficult to catch them red-handed. In our country, giving tickets to candidate with criminal background is another problem. You can understand the consequences if we have representatives with a criminal background. They will not work for your welfare. Another major challenge is violence during elections. The political parties can help the Election Commission by telling their party members to refrain from violence. To retain a continuing influence on politics, leaders give election tickets to their own relatives. This is nothing but nepotism. People of the same family keep on participating in the elections thereby restricting others' participation in politics on the basis of merits. Electoral reforms. Now, electoral reforms are the changes to be brought about or already done in democracy. So let's begin. See, if there are less women in politics, we will have less women raising their voices for the concerns of women in parliament, then there will not be a better society. So, on local government level, we have 50% reservation for women. Now, political parties should not give candidature to candidates having criminal background. Criminalization of politics should be done away with by giving tickets to those candidates who have a very clean background, educated leaders, and are required to be our representatives and a voice. Government should take care of election expenses so that people will not spend a lot of money. See, those candidates who are rich, they spend a lot of money. They arrange big rallies, get star campaigners who can help them win elections. So will not be the case of a poor candidate, resulting he will not will win the elections. Next, Representation of the People's Act should be amended so that the candidates having criminal background would not be able to participate in elections.
Journey from ballot boxes to EVM machines. The first election in independent India was held in 1951 to 52. This was the beginning of shaping of democracy through electoral politics. In the initial elections, ballot boxes were used for the purpose of voting. The use of EVM machines started from the decade of 1980s. Many things could be achieved because of voting machine. If the voters do not want to vote for any candidate, they can choose an option of none of the above. Nota. This option can be given only because of voting machine. It has become easy for disabled people, Divyanga, to vote. It reduced the cutting of trees, thereby helped in protection of environment. Also, early declaration of election results has been made possible.
Now students, you need to understand these concepts before we conclude with our lesson. General elections. You know that a parliament has two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. When you vote for the general elections, you are electing a member of Lok Sabha, that is, after every 5 years. Mid-term elections. When the government has been formed with the support of other parties, and if one of the parties withdraws its support, then the party becomes a minority, resulting in the loss of majority support for the government. And if no alternative government is possible, then elections are held before the completion of the term. They are called mid-term elections. By-elections. If an elected representative in Lok Sabha, Vidhan Sabha or the local self-government resigns, or due to his or her death his seat becomes vacant, the elections are held for that vacant seat. This is called a by-election. So students, we have completed the topic on the electoral process. Go through your textbook and read the lesson. After that, I want you to write the questions given in the exercise at the end of the lesson, that is, from page 80 and 81. Writing down the notes will help you to remember the concepts well. Thank you.